Hey guys, this is Mike from B-Tech Reviews here, and today I'm going to do an upgrade on my iMac from 2010. So if you're watching this, it's 2019, and I purchased this 2010 iMac because I wanted to see basically if I'm going to be able to upgrade it and basically use it up to today's standards, or at least as far as like a little bit of video editing, a little bit of photo editing. I do a little bit of video editing due to YouTube here, so I thought this would be a great opportunity for me to basically, spend a little extra money on it and see if I can upgrade it. So first of all, this iMac only cost me $200, guys. And if you guys can see behind me, I already have Geekbench Scores over here. Let me see if I can show you guys that really quick. So it scored a 2409 on the single core score, and the multi-core score was only a 5042. So for those of you who know what Geekbench is, it's just a benchmark that tests out your computer, and it crunches numbers, and it gives you a number. So the two upgrades that I'm gonna do, and I might do three, we'll see, is one of them is the RAM. So I purchased this RAM off Amazon. I think it was about $60. I ordered two 8 gigabyte sticks. So again, this Mac can only take so much RAM. So I think since it's a 2010 RAM, 2010 iMac, this is only configurable to take up to only 16 gigabytes of memory. It has four RAM slots though, and again, I ordered two 8 gigs, so I'm hoping they work. If they don't work, then we might have issues. I might have to send it back and order 4 of the 4 gigs. And I didn't really do the research on that, so we'll see how it goes. But that's what I'm going to do today, guys. I did order an SSD also, which here's a 240 gigabyte SSD that cost me like $20, $30 on Amazon as well. And if you guys want to do this yourself, I'll go ahead and link these up down below just so you guys can see the parts that I purchased here. But again, RAM upgrade and an SSD upgrade is going to do big wonders to this Mac, because first of all, this thing is running on a SATA drive. And if you guys know what a SATA drive is, it's basically one of those old hard disk drives that actually spins. So because of that, it's running relatively slow. I wouldn't say it runs too slow. I think for the most part, this thing still performs pretty decently for what it is. Like you can see here the animations and whatnot. I didn't open up the trash, but okay, that was just a screenshot. And as you can see here again, the animations don't look as bad considering, but then again, this thing is very clean. I don't have anything else on it right now. So again, right now I'm going to do the RAM upgrade. It's only going to take about 4 screws down here on the bottom. I'm going to unplug all this. I'll show you guys what I'm doing, and then we'll go from there, guys. And then I'll turn the computer on. I'm going to run another Geekbench score, and then we'll see how it goes, okay? Keep my fingers crossed that this works, okay? Alright, guys, so excuse the mess here. So I went ahead and laid my the iMac on top of my desk here. I put like some sort of coating right here, or a blanket, or a towel, just so that I wouldn't get the screen dirty. So you might want to just think about doing that. So again, right here on the bottom of the mat, guys, there's 3 screws, and I know it's tough to see because I am blocking the direct light. There's a screw right here, a screw right here, and a screw right here. So I've already kind of loosened 2 of the screws, and I'm working on the 3rd one now. But basically your RAM slots are in here, and a lot of the Macs that came out after this, a lot of people were upset because, they were not able to upgrade them like they were on these older Macs. So, and this is super simple to do, you know what I mean? Again, you just have to remove these 3 little screws, which I'm hoping I don't lose that. So again, this just pops up. I'm going to put that over here, and then the RAM slots go over here. So there's one right there on top and one right here on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these. See if I can get that zoomed in for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and remove these, and then I'm going to put in the new RAM, which the new RAM is sitting right here. I need a pack of scissors so I can open this up. Actually, I might have to go look for a pair of scissors. I might have to find like a trusty knife or something like that. Where do I have my scissors? Okay, yes, there we go. So I have a napkin there just to kind of wipe off all the dust. But here we go. I'm already unpacking the RAM here. So hopefully this works. I hope I don't have to send this back. Again, these are the brand is called Adamanta, 16 gigabytes of RAM. So again, this is just 2 slots here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull 2 tabs here that you have to pull in order to remove the RAM. Apparently you just pop that out, and as you can see here, the first one popped out. So I'm going to lay it on its side just because I want it to I want to be able to see that, and I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna put this back in. So again, here's the new RAM. Don't be too bored, guys, with my voice over here. I know it sounds sexy and you guys just want to hear it all day, but no, for the most part, this isn't really so much a tutorial, guys. This is just me, going through this, is trying to upgrade this so that I can use this. I do have a MacBook Pro that I do use, but I did want something a little, I guess something not as portable. Again, Adamant RAM. So here's both slots. Again, it comes in this packaging for a reason. You have to really make sure that you de-static yourself first before doing this. Otherwise, you might end up with issues. So again, I'm gonna cut this open just a little bit so I can get them out. Let's see. All right, hold on. Again, I'm cutting these, so I'm probably gonna end up dropping one on the floor over here. Let's see. So the first one's there, and I'm just gonna pop that out. Again, anyone can do this, guys, and I'm hoping that this works. We'll find out. These little RAM. See if I can squeeze it in there. Okay, there's the first one, and I really don't know how they do it to where you yank on it and it just pops out. So that's the first one. I'm gonna do the second one now. Second one just pops out also. So there's the second one. Again, if you guys are wondering what type of RAM they were using back in 2010, they're using Samsung RAM, by the way, or at least that's what I'm seeing here, Samsung. So there's that. That's pretty funny, actually, with all the whole stuff that happens with the whole smartphone war. Excuse me. And again, I'm going to put those aside just in case I have to end up putting them back for whatever reason. And we'll figure this out as I go here. Again, I'm going to open this up and get the other RAM slot opened. And then we'll go ahead and pop it in. And hopefully we can get them both to work. Technically, I can just turn that on with the 1 DIMM of RAM, but I'm not going to. I'm going to make sure both of them are in just because. And I'm having issues here with the actual thing over here, so just give me a second while I'm cutting this open. All right. And again, most of these are compatible with other items like their older MacBooks and whatnot, or even the Mac Minis. So if you guys have a Mac Mini that you want to upgrade, it's the same usable RAM. So you can just purchase it. So once that's punched in, guys, all you have to do is just put this back in like so. That way it's tucked in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw this back on, guys, and I'm going to turn on the Mac. Hopefully it turns on for you guys, and we'll get that going, okay? All right, so moment of truth. I did get the RAM in. I already have everything plugged in, so let's go ahead and turn it on. If it doesn't turn on correctly or the right way, it's because the RAM's not compatible with it. So let's turn it on. Let's see what happens. I pressed the button. I don't know if anything's going to happen or not. This thing's pretty slow, but as you can see here, it did turn on. So I'm hoping that it boots all the way. I mean, so far so good. It's not, I mean, usually if you put in a set of memory that's incompatible with the actual software or whatever, or the actual computer, it won't turn on. So that's a good sign. So let's let this boot up, and I'll go ahead and run another Geekbench test for you guys so that you guys can kind of see the comparison. And then hopefully once that's done, I will go ahead and make another video on installing an SSD in one of these older Macs, okay? Full cost of all of this was about $300. So if you guys are thinking, hey, maybe should I buy like a brand new iMac instead, you know what I mean? Again, a lot of people do this because these older Macs were a lot. Look at that, it's running. So now this old iMac is running 16 gigs of RAM. Awesome, I'm happy. So let me go ahead and get logged in, guys, and then we'll go ahead and go from there, okay? All right, guys, so I went ahead and booted up the Mac. So just so you guys know, this thing has been rebooting on me several times already. Just so you can see, if I can get this zoomed in here before it decides to restart on me. There we go. Let's get, okay, it restarted on me. So This thing, again, it's running on two 8 gig sticks or whatever, or 16 gigs of RAM. But for whatever reason, I have a feeling that this specific RAM is not compatible. I think I should have ordered four of the 4 gig sticks instead of the two of the 8 gigs. It runs, it restarts, or it's running, but it's constantly rebooting. So right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out one of the 8 gig sticks of memory, and I'm gonna see if it just runs off one of the sticks, and we'll go from there. All right, before it restarts, let's see if I can get this for you guys. But it is running on 8 gigs of memory. Let me move the mouse over so you guys can see that. Let me see if I can highlight that at all. Probably not, but anyways, there it is, 8 gigs of RAM. Let me move that back. Maybe it's not focusing the way I want it to focus. There we go. 8 gigs of RAM. So what I was trying to do, and there we go, it restarted again. So what I was trying to do, I was trying to see if I can get, let me zoom back out here. I was trying to run a Geekbench test, but as you can see here, even with that 8 gig RAMs, it's still, whatever, it's still rebooting, or it's still boot looping. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to send this RAM back, guys. And then for the most part, I'm going to just, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it back, and I'm going to order the correct RAM for this, and then we'll get it going, guys. So I do apologize if this video was a waste of time for you, but just so you know, again, it's trial and error when it comes to upgrading PC and PC parts. Again, this is a Mac, obviously, but it is what it is, guys. The fact is, it still runs. It just boot loops, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna try to order the correct RAM, and then we'll go from there. So hopefully, I don't know if I'm gonna put all this video together just yet or not. I might end up, adding onto it later on and just ordering the correct one. Hopefully, we can give it a few days. But again, guys, this is Mike from BTech signing off. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you guys like this video. We'll see you guys next time. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm back. It is actually a few days later from that last video, or that last ending that I just did right now. And so I ended up having to order a different RAM for this, because I guess the one that I ordered was not compatible for this specific year. So it started boot looping, right? So I ordered this brand, which is called the OWC, and I ordered this on Amazon. Again, I'm going to post the link down below for you guys. And this is supposed to be compatible with mid-2010 models for the Mac. So if you guys can see here, the screen or whatever is kind of all wonky. It's a little, I actually detached the screen cover over here so that I can actually install the SSD while I was waiting for the RAM. So I actually had to wait 2 days. Unfortunately, I had to send the original RAM back, which was 16 gigs. And I had to kind of settle for 8 gigs of RAM because it was a little cheaper than the original ones that I had ordered. And I did not have the extra cash to spend on more on the two extra DIMMs of RAM here. So I'm going to put these in, guys, and I'm going to restart it. Hopefully keep my fingers crossed that it works. I already have the SSD installed, so I already installed the 240 gig SSD. I didn't make a video on that, unfortunately. If you want to see tutorial videos on how to install an SSD over here, just go ahead and Google it. Again, this company, the OWC, actually has tutorial videos on how to do it. It's a little complicated if you don't know what you're doing, because there is 4 connections behind the screen that you have to remove and then reattach. And for whatever reason, I did get the fan blowing really hard when I restarted the Mac, and apparently that's very common when you're replacing the hard drive, because you can mess with some sort of thermal sensor in the back of the screen there, which is probably what I did. But I downloaded this app called Mac Fan Control, which is free, and it solved the issue as far as the fan blowing really hard. Apparently this thing has like 3 fans. It has a CPU fan, it has a GPU fan, or the optical drive fan, and then it has the hard drive fan, which an SSD doesn't really need a fan because they don't really get hot. So again, guys, let me go ahead and put this in, and then I'll run a Geekbench test, and then we'll go from there, okay? Alright, so again, I ordered the wrong RAM, which is ridiculous because I had already gone through a pair of RAM sticks prior to the last one that I just did. So you guys just saw me failing at 2 RAM sticks failing. But finally, I found the correct RAM that I was supposed to get. And the reason why it kept crashing is because I kept purchasing RAM that was the wrong speed. So this specific iMac runs, I guess, has a speed of 1333 or 1.3, 1333 megahertz. The ones that I was buying was 1.6 megahertz, which is equivalent to 1.6 gigahertz or whatever. But anyway, so finally I upgraded the RAM. So this thing is running 16 gigs of RAM with an SSD. So definitely I can tell the performance has changed right off the bat. As far as Geekbench scores, on the single core, it's only scoring a 2432 or 2432, and then on the multi-core it went up to 5033. So I don't know if that's going to be like a huge difference, but I am going to try editing with this, guys, and then from there hopefully we'll see what's going on. Let's see if I can make this just a daily user and really see how it works and acts with me as far as day-to-day use. Again, I'll still be using my desktop, but I do want to put this over here on my table and get that going, and hopefully I'll be able to use it on a day-to-day. So to kill the end of this video or whatever, I'm going to go ahead and post up the scores and just kind of show you guys again that it is running with 16 gigs of RAM, okay? Alright, and excuse the crappy video quality. I could have probably just used iMovie to screen record. But okay, so you can see here that again the single core score is 2432 and the multi-core score is 533. And again, I've downloaded softwares like Bench, which really, it's really about actual usage and whatnot. But for the most part, this thing runs fast. Let's go ahead and go to the About Mac section, just so we can get that going for you guys. Let me see if I can zoom in just a smidge. Again, I am recording on the Umidigi A5 Pro, so just bear with me here while I get this to try to focus here. And if I can't get it to focus, then we are going to be SOL. There you go. Hopefully that's focusing. Maybe not. If not, then sorry guys. But it is running 16 gigs of RAM at DDR3 memory. So very proud of my upgrades that I did here. Does that do anything? Very proud of my upgrades here again, guys. This really wasn't a tutorial video on how to do this. It was more of me just wanting to, test this out and see if it was worth upgrading this Mac. So, I'm going to do a few go-arounds as far as trying to edit with this and, just doing little things here and there. Maybe some, Adobe After Effects or some Lightroom from Adobe or even iMovie. So I might do some iMovie tutorials on here again. So again, guys, if you guys like this video, found it informing, so you give it a thumbs up. Again, you don't always have to buy the latest and greatest tech. The cool thing about the older Macs is some of these older Macs are upgradables, so you don't have to go and spend $1,500 on an iMac or even $5,000 on an iMac Pro. A lot of these older computers are very upgradable. As long as you know what you're doing, as long as you follow the tutorials correctly, you can do it just like anybody else. It just takes a little bit of time and effort and a little bit of troubleshooting for the most part. So again, guys, this is Mike from BTech Reviews signing off. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.